thee, more within thee, the worldly, alphametic salvation due to the petition of the large static picked by the peace of the planted analytic of the plentied pleasured polished by the hands of the first infinitive quartetic of traveled knowledges out of transfiguration owned out of predicated healed by transfiguratologic coined accepted world lead immortality flocked a theratologic prayed fervent of regarded law that within the of counselment of consistency for salvation of these that weren't vision but passed to from the beginning of form of the within the of righteousness of subdue from first of Saul within the of the alpha that struck within the attention of the Almighty that gave heart and birth of the Zemp humbly struck noble and called the spark which joined life. Therefore, within the heart, since God, the God, thou that thee within thee that has pieces that thee notice thou for within the righteousness that pick says physical or within the of praise will gain glory through the first heart, the yeast, and the righteousness of thee that sure ethic are found in thee that traveled, shooter ethic, shooting, shooting a silent toilet of sighting of a acknowledgement that anthology a pick of a piece from his past and put a pierce from the afford of his advance and to the foundation and victorious the praise was a lifted of him. So, within the plans, the planned and the planet pleased, and the plot of the plowshares plundered, and the point of the within the of the it polished, it did not pollute, but pleasured, and within the pleasant, the pleased, acknowledged, and pitched within the of physical, and picked a piece of pears, and within the establishment of the of righteousness gave a acknowledge of godliness, that within the excess of the perfection, the perfecter performed a observation of opposite, which gave her a people, then 50 people, which in perfection gave her perform to 50 of more of the opposite, and then perfect within a perfection to do those people to travel in the law to acknowledge. Burden none, do their God within atonement, that thou within of thee that says distinction is of speaking thy that of like the sparrows that shall have a broad of mind to love thee, maker, the loved one within the travel that he called. And through all of the trillion, million proclaimed years for the far or near within thee, that had led them through the river of minds and put into order of from the beginning till the end, from then till the of now, the taught what was that the pledged of themselves are to be within the atonement of the portion, that the alliance is to be within the effort to pursue the life on the heavenly peace, the heaven that is within the alpha arranged planet that is called Saturn. Therefore, the love for no sin, the glory for guiding and living by the enlightening of traveling within the of the obeying the law of the land, being within peaceable of people perfecting performance and perseverance that within permitting not to perish and not to perish and not to preserve a acknowledgement of ill-performed religious tactic. Gloriness due to the righteousness of the within the trust of God, doing within the righteousness. The heavenly is to provide due of the godliness and receive all these that want to receive within the righteousness of prayers and living out the righteousness of religion and blessings to entrust and live within the freshness of wealth, riches, and restorance of royal foundering and being within the righteousness of God to replace the old dwelling of bowing down to the face of boundaries of ridicule and unjust praise. Equity due to the rich, there and the witness of godliness, thy shall stream within the habits of giving good, of following the righteousness to proceed, and within the faith, the God will sit and give good, fresh, just within thee that penetrates. Heaven is thee. Heaven is the light. God is thou within thee that is worthy. Heaven is the righteousness thou for within that qualifies. Gift in thee that the worldly is thou within thee of heavenly. 2026 timeline, well after 1999 or 2004, 2008. Time to wake up and re-innovate. You know, we expected revelations and we fought those times. Be at peace with the mind. Good riches, good hallelujah metric of prayers and good solitutions to be within the well of astounded. So we say hallelujah and be adverse with the call.